Good morning, class. As I've started explaining you the second chapter, that is Peep Meets a Convict, and I told you that this is a story about a boy named Peep, whose mother and father are both dead, and he was an orphan. He was sitting at the tombstone of his father. He lived all alone with his sister named Mrs. Jogagi, and he was frightened by a convict who was asking him many questions, that where did he live, and he checked all his pockets and he got a bread from there. Now let us move further. Blacksmith A, and he looked down at his leg. After looking at his leg and me several times, he took me by both arms and tilted me back as far as he could hold me. He took from my leg and took from both my arms, and he tilted me up and down. Then he stared into my eyes. Then he looked into my eyes. Now look here, he said. I need to decide if I will let you live. The convict will decide, will he let people live or not. Do you know what a file is? He asked. Do you know what is a file? Yes, sir. And do you know what grub is? He said, yes, sir. After each question, he tilted me over a little more. After asking each question, he shook him a bit more. This made me feel helpless. After seeing all this, I was helpless. I was in danger. He said, I was in danger. You get me a file. He tilted me again. After saying this, that get me a file, he tilted me again. And you get me a grub also. He tilted me again. You bring them both to me. He tilted me again. After saying this, he said together these words, that file and grub, and then he again tilted him. Or I will have your heart and liver out. Or I will take your heart and liver out. He tilted me again. I was dreadfully frightened and hoped that he would not drop me. I was dreadfully frightened. I was thinking again whether he would not drop me. I clung to him with both hands. He gave me the most tremendous dip and roll so that the church jumped over its weathercock. Then, still holding me up on the tombstone, he went on. He still holded him up on the tombstone. Early tomorrow morning, bring that file and a grub. He again said this, to bring that file and grub. You bring the lot to me at that old battery over there. I want that file and grub at the old battery. If you do it and don't say a word about me, if you do it and don't say a word about me, I will let you live. He said that you have to do my work and you will not say anyone my name. If you fail or say anything all about me, then your heart and your liver shall be torn out. And if I heard that you said my name and anything about me, I will take out your liver and heart, roasted and eaten. No, I am not alone. There's a young man hiding with me. In comparison with him, I am an angel. That young man can hear us now. That young man is listening to us now. That young man has a secret way of getting at a boy and at his heart and his liver. Now turn the page. A boy can't hide himself from that young man. A boy can't hide himself. A boy may lock his door, may be warm in bed, may tuck himself up, and may draw up the clothes over his head, may think him comfortable and safe. The boy was not comfortable and safe after listening to all this, but that young man will softly creep his way to him and tear him open. I am keeping that young man from harming you at the present moment. With great difficulty, I find it very hard to hold that young man off your inside. Now, what do you say? He was asking, what do you want to say? I was so frightened, but I said that I would get him the file and I would get him what broken bits of food I could. He said, I will get him that file. That is a rough-edged tool. He asked him to bring the rough-edged tool. What he could take to him, he will. I would come to him at the battery early in the morning, and I would go to him at the old battery where he called me. Promise on your life, said the man. I promise. And he took me down from the top of the tombstone. I promised him, so he took me down from the tombstone. Now he went on, remember that promise and remember that young man and get home. Go, good night, sir. I stammered, and he said, go good night, sir. I stammered. It is going to be long night for me. It is going to be a long night for me, said he. He looked at the cold, wet, flat marsh. Marsh is a wetland area. I wish I was a frog or an eel. He said eel is a type of a bird. He wished that he could be a frog or an eel. He hugged his shuddering body. Shuddering body means a shaking type body in both his arms as if to hold himself together and limped towards the low church wall. He got over it slowly, like a man whose legs were numbed and stiff, and then turned round to look for me. When I saw him turning, I was frightened again. And when he saw him turning, he was again very much frightened and ran home without stopping. And then he ran home again. Adapt from Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I hope you all have understood this story very well. Now go through the story carefully. Homework for you all to read the story again. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Thank you.